All right. Hi, everyone. Let's make sure we're live here. Wait till I can see some interaction before we get started. Oh, there I see someone. Hi, Chris. It's always kind of weird because I'm on my phone living on my laptop to watch for comments and stuff, so it's a little bit disorienting seeing both, but all right, got a few people joining in. Hi, Chris. All right, well, we'll just go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. Good to virtually see you again. My name is Tracy Darling DeMarcus. I am the Prevention Program Manager for the WCA. And what that means is that I manage the program that is primarily responsible for doing education in the community, specifically around preventing violence. We do this through a lot of different ways. Hi, Becca. With small groups, going into schools, teaching lessons. Well, hi, Delinda. And doing just a lot of work, particularly with young people. If you're familiar with the WCA, you know that our mission is to provide safety, healing, and freedom from domestic abuse and sexual assault. We provide a lot of different services to the community and for people who need those services. So that's like what we do day to day. But our larger vision as an organization, so if the mission is what we do, the vision is why we do it. And our vision as an organization is to foster community where everyone thrives in safe and healthy relationships. And so that's why a lot of our work is focused on working with young people, because as we know, sometimes or oftentimes abusive behaviors can be generational. And so we're really working to break that generational cycle of violence, teach young people that there's a different way to be in the world and to be in relationships, and that's really what we are trying to do. So a part of our prevention program that I am really proud of and so excited by is our Youth REP program. Youth REP stands for Relationship Education Program, and this is a leadership group for high school students in the Treasure Valley who want to get involved with the WCA and want to make a difference for their peers and for our community as a whole. So these students get together throughout the school year. We have bi-weekly meetings where they really help inform the prevention work that we do. We try out some of our activities and lessons on them to get feedback. They've also helped co-facilitate lessons before, which has been really cool to see. They are responsible for doing awareness events and outreach activities at their schools, and really just kind of leading that peer-to-peer engagement in talking to their peers about relationships and letting them know that they are worthy of and they deserve safe and healthy relationships, and helping build skills to make that happen. I really, really love working with them, and I think I probably learn as much as they do during the program. We're teaching them different things about relationships and what we do as the WCA, but I think I learn a lot from them as well, and that's always a really cool thing, that kind of intergenerational connection. So this year we have 10 youth reps. They are all very wonderful, amazing young people. They range from 10th to 12th grade and come from schools across the Treasure Valley. So we have representatives from Boise High, Bora High, Capital, Timberline, Mountain View in West Ada, and Cuna high schools this year. So a really good kind of spread across the Treasure Valley. And like I said, these youth reps come together twice a week, and we have been meeting during this time. We've been doing some virtual meetings via Zoom with them and keeping in touch and trying to still spread awareness and keep our messaging going, even though they can't do school based events right now. Still keeping in touch and trying to keep that going. So yeah, they're a really, really awesome group this year. And I'm really, really excited. We have a few graduating seniors. Shout out to Tracy and Maura Catherine and Zoe and Bailey. They have been amazing. 3 of the 4 of our seniors had previously participated in the program last year, so this is their 2nd year or 3rd year even for Bailey. So really cool to be able to see them stay connected throughout their years. It's a really great thing to be able to put on their college resumes. They're all going off and doing amazing things after their high school, so really proud of them and really grateful to have gotten to know them over the last year or a couple of years. Chris says, yeah, last year we did have a couple of youth reps from Canyon County, the Nampa area. So this program isn't necessarily just for Boise or for Ada County. Basically, we just try to make sure we can get people together to meet. And so that has been in person, but we're getting really good at doing virtual stuff too. So if transportation is an issue for somebody, that by no means should limit their ability to participate in the program. And so kind of what I'm leading up to is that our this program goes from year to year, and we've opened up our application for next school year for our youth reps. So what that means is that if there are students interested in participating in the program, they go through an application that is available on our website, and then we'll go through the applications. Our youth reps who've indicated from this year that they're interested in staying connected and participating next year actually help us go through the applications. We do an interview process, and the youth reps are part of those interviews. So reps from this year will be interviewing potential reps for next year, so they get to be a part of the interview and the selection process, which is again a really cool skill and something to be able to say, that they've done on a resume or a job application down the road. And then we'll start for the 2021 school year next fall, and then those reps will go through the end of the 2021 school year. So that application, like I said, is open, and you can find it on our website, and I'm actually I copied it, so I'm going to paste it into the comments section. So if you know young people, if you have, teens, or know somebody who might be interested in something like this, a couple things that would make them eligible. They, Becca, nice question. I'll get to that in just a second. Couple of things for eligibility wise. They have to be in 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, again, of the 2020-2021 school year. So they could apply now as a 9th grader but they'll be a 10th grader next year. That's totally okay. So 10th, 11th, or 12th grade for the 2020-2021 school year. And again, anywhere in the Treasure Valley, we don't have like a location criteria or anything like that. We try to meet in person. I just think there's a lot more ability to have creative collaboration when you're in person. But again, we've been getting really good at having these virtual meetings, and so that is definitely something that we could work out if somebody had issues with transportation or something like that. So don't want to limit via location. And then Rebecca posted in the comments, what do you look for in youth reps? This program actually stemmed from interest that we had from young people in wanting to volunteer. As many people who are probably watching this know, or are volunteers, or ambassadors, we love our volunteers and we couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. Unfortunately, there are some regulations and rules around having volunteers under the age of 18, and so there were some limited opportunities for young people to volunteer. And so this was a program that kind of grew out of that, was that we were having these young people reaching out. They were interested in the work that the WCA was doing. They're passionate about making their community a better and safer place for everyone. But we just didn't have a whole lot of opportunities for young people to volunteer, or volunteer without like a parent or something like that. So the Youth REP program grew out of that, and that would be what I would say is the most important thing that we look for in a Youth REP, is their passion for our work or for the mission and vision of the WCA. If they're interested in making change in their community, if they are passionate about, making sure all of their peers and family members and friends have safe and healthy relationships and know resources that are available to them, that's probably the number one thing we look for in our youth reps. Again, really just starting with that passion and that motivation is a really big first step. And then beyond that, we're looking for students that are creative and fun and willing to work together around issues that are not always easy, even for adults to talk about. We have, we do a lot of education with adults around domestic violence and sexual assault, and a lot of adults are even uncomfortable talking about those things. So thinking about a young person having those conversations that are tough but also necessary, have to have some, and we do a lot of training around that, but have to have some comfortability, talking to people about difficult issues. And yeah, I think we have a really diverse group of youth reps this year, a lot of really unique interests, and I think we've found ways to make their, different interests and qualities part of the program. And so if they express that they have an interest in, creative writing or art, or one of our youth reps this year is really into like filmmaking. So we did one meeting where we screened a documentary film and then had a discussion afterwards. So things like that. We try to really bring in those, beautiful, unique qualities and skills and characteristics about the youth reps. And that's what I think makes the group so awesome. I'm just gonna buzz through the comments really quick and see if there's any questions coming in. Hi, Laura. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Loopy. Good to maybe see you one way. What else? So if you are interested in maybe sharing this information with somebody, that might be another parent or a young person that you know, again, the website, wcaboise.org, has all this information. If you go to Get Involved, Outreach and Education, there will be a section on that page about the prevention program and the youth rep application that's out there. Also, our youth reps this year started their own Instagram page. So they are creative as all get out and understand social media, which is amazing because that is something I'm not good at. But they have their own Instagram page that they put all the content together, and we create social media plans every month. And that's another really great way to stay in touch with the youth reps. So if you have Instagram and want to follow them, their handle is at WCA Youth Reps. And right now we are doing a little thing on our stories of like ask a youth rep. So if you have questions, or if your teens have questions about the program or what the youth reps do, they can go to our stories and ask questions, and then our youth reps will answer those questions directly through our Instagram stories. So that's another way that they can get more information. Loopy asked, how do you become a youth rep? So again, the application process is the start. So what'll happen is they'll apply. There's a brief Google form application for them to fill out. And we also typically send this out to all school counselors and administrators, both in the Boise and West Ada school districts, and ask if there are counselors who think a student might be a good fit, or might be something that they know their students are into, but maybe their students don't follow the WCA, their parents don't follow the WCA. So that's another way we get the application out there. So that'll be closing at the end of June. And then we'll take all of the applications, as I said, we'll look through them, us as the WCA staff, but also the youth reps who have been a part of the program this year. They'll be a part of the application selection process. And then we'll do an in-person interview, so we get to know them a little bit more, and then make selections for who's joining the program. And then that'll start next fall, next school year. And we'll do some onboarding and training, and we try to do as much kind of ongoing training as we can to make sure, again, those young people are prepared and trained up to do what they're gonna do in the community. So yeah, let's see. What's your favorite thing from this year that you've gotten to do with the youth reps? I loved their flower day. The Let Love Bloom was a community event that they organized and hosted as like the tail end of Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. So on February 29th, we got some flowers donated from a couple of local organizations, businesses, I guess. And the youth reps made up these tags that had positive messages on them. Things like, you're worthy of love, you're worthy of respect, you're worthy of equality. And then they bundled all the flowers together and then went out in the streets of downtown Boise and gave them out to people. And the idea was that they keep one of the flowers and then they pass one along. So really just spreading those messages of positive, healthy relationships. I loved that event. I thought it was so cool. We had some really awesome partners. Rediscovered Books hosted us. Just downtown Boise in general was really, really, really great to get the youth reps out there and talking to people and spreading some love and positivity. So that was a really fun event. Let's see. Yvette asked, are there any plans to perhaps hold remote meetings to get Canyon County students involved? Great question. A lot of candidates would be more rural, but transportation would be an issue. So that's something we could definitely look at, and I'm not opposed to it. Either potentially assisting with transportation if that's possible, or also, like I said, hosting or holding maybe meetings virtually that they could participate in from afar. We're actually participating on a lot of like bigger community wide like collaborative things right now. We're part of a like youth summit planning committee. Shout out to Heidi, she's the one in charge of that. And we've only been meeting virtually with students from across the state, have been participating in that. So I wouldn't say Canyon County residents should not apply. Last year we did have a couple of reps from Nampa area, and yeah, we just worked with them to figure out what would work for them to be able to participate and come to meetings and stuff. And a lot of this stuff, we have been doing more community events this past year, but a lot of the things that they're able to do are in their schools, and so that would be something that, again, I think could be really doable for somebody in Canyon County if they were looking to do, a Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month campaign at their school. Then obviously, like, that would be really doable for them, and they wouldn't necessarily have to travel or anything like that. Great question, Yvette. I would say, yeah, don't let that stop you from applying. I think the idea of having more diverse candidates or more diverse participants, with that rural perspective, that's where, like, I come from. I was born in, or not born, but I lived in South Dakota and I worked in Wyoming, so I feel that, like, rural town is a different thing, and so I think that could be a really cool perspective to bring in to the group that a lot of residents from Boise or something maybe wouldn't see that side of things. That could be a learning opportunity for them too. So yeah, I would definitely say to apply, and we'll work with you. So let's see. I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. I'll just wait for maybe a couple more minutes if anybody has questions, but again, I really love this program. I think it's such an important piece to the work that we're doing as the prevention program. Having young people being able to have these conversations with each other is so important, and it's so much more, I think it's so much more valuable than even when we go into a school or into a classroom and have these conversations. It's just different. And we know from the data that, young people who experience violence in their relationship, they're most likely to go to their friends if they go to anybody for support. And so having young people able to really support one another and spread that message is really important. Cool, thanks, Yvette. Yeah, that would be awesome if you could spread to your contacts. Share that link to our web page. I think the application process is going to be a lot easier this year because we have it in a Google form rather than like a paper PDF. So glad we made that switch. Let's see. Oh, Chris says, tell us about the fun photo shoot. So at the beginning of the year, this past year, which would have been fall, which sounds weird to say beginning of the year, but it was fall of the 1920 school year, which was the beginning of the year for them. We had decided that they wanted to have a social media channel, and part of that is coming up with a content creation plan and really making sure that channel is active. And so we got them together. We got shirts made, so they all have their shirts, their youth rep shirts, and went to Catherine Albertson Park and just spent a few hours on 2 different Saturdays, or a Saturday and a Sunday. I don't remember, but we had a couple of different days for people to make sure they could coordinate their schedules. But and we just did a photo shoot with our iPhones, which turned out really well. I don't know whose phone we used, but somebody had a great phone, and they look awesome. And so we had all of these different kind of props. We had their stickers and the no more signs and the shoe cards and all these things that they could kind of play around with and take all of these different photos. So we've been using that as content on our social media channels. So those are probably some of the ones that have been out on the WCA's Facebook as well. So if you've seen those, they're all wearing their like white shirts with a tag that says WCA Youth REP. So yeah, it was a really fun day too. Make them feel like models, and really, really great photos that came out of that. A lot of really fun ones that I'm really glad that we have. So probably looking to do something similar to that for next year too. So when we get our new reps on board, we'll do another photo shoot with all of them to use on our different social media and things like that. So yeah, I always think I'm not gonna have enough to talk about, but then I get really excited about these programs and things that make me really happy. So we're doing pretty good, almost a half hour now. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, again, we'll be monitoring this and seeing, if people do post questions in the comments, we'll make sure to try and respond to them as soon as possible. But check out that website page. Oh, Chris, so many questions. Tell us about the programming with Boise School District. So that's kind of not separate, but different, I guess, than the Youth REP program. But we've got a kind of longer term 3-year project in the works with the Boise School District where we're doing some kind of intensive violence prevention programming in collaboration with some schools in the area. And hopefully the youth reps will be part of that, and that if these schools pick or are implementing these violence prevention programs, the youth reps can help support that and co-facilitate that. We're still working out what that could look like, but really cool collaborative project with the school district. We're so grateful for their support, especially even through all of this COVID craziness. They have been dedicated to continuing the project and keeping up with the work, and looking to next school year to really get things rolling. And so it's a really exciting opportunity for us to do some pretty in-depth and intensive prevention programming in schools that will hopefully be a longer term thing. So Chris, any more questions? just shout that out. Anything else? All right. Well, I think I'm about ready to sign off, but if you have Instagram, find the Youth Reps page, WCA Youth Reps. Go out there and follow them. They put out awesome content, and it's a little bit more geared towards their age group, so it's a little different audience than like the WCA's Instagram pages, so it's great to follow both if you can. And yeah, looking forward to next year and to growing the program and to having another great year with our youth reps. So all right, well, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day and the week. It's Monday, so got a whole week ahead of us to make a difference. So all right, I'm gonna log off, maybe.